Hello everyone, I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday and have a good weekend ahead. In today's video, guys, we're not gonna do a guide on Raid Shadow Legends. We're actually gonna look at a game from a different perspective. I want to give you my take on it based on my own experience as well and kind of like raise a bit of awareness and point out a couple of different things. Now, for the last 1 year or so, the game has been running in the mode follow the carrot because you'll never catch it. Every single feature we've got in the game was basically based on power creep, right? Spend more to catch up. It's never gonna happen because the next thing is coming out. Empowerment, awakening, ascending the gear, ascending the accessories, mythical champions, and I don't know, so many different things. Just constantly pushing you to another level of power creep, right? And the way this game works, they always have a meta. That meta changes after a few months. So you're following the next champion, you're following the next champion, you're following the next gear set, etc. And it's never ending, basically, okay? So this game has no end. Let me just put it like that. These type of games, they have no ending. Now, we've seen a lot of people quitting this game. I've been playing this game for, I can't even remember, 4 or 5 years almost. And I've seen so many people quitting this game that I've never met in all the other games I've ever played added together. And of course, a lot of content creators quit as well. We have a Dark Microtransaction, we have Ivy Lee, we have a BGE, we have a lot of people that stopped playing the game and stopped doing content all around, even though for some of them was a good source of revenue, right? And recently, we have another person quitting. I think Jay Giggs as well quit, or at least he made some videos that he was planning to quit. And the most recent one is Mac Chan. Now, he's actually kind of like coming out saying, I don't want to do it anymore. I refuse to do it. And basically, it's kind of like giving a couple of opinions on things that happen. And it's kind of like explaining you what happened from his perspective. And we're going to have a look to see what exactly he's saying. I'm going to give you my take on it based from my own experience. And I feel like I got to raise a couple of points in here because if no, people will end up in doing the exact same mistake later on. And I've been trapped in that for quite a while till I actually understood the system, and basically is something that's never gonna end. Is a rat race. But we're gonna stop it here and there. I'm gonna give you guys my take. We're gonna hear a couple of things from Ash that I do think they're very valuable lessons, a couple of things from Mac Chan, and I'm gonna give you guys a couple of different things that, again, I think they're valuable lessons because I feel like people will end up in doing the exact same mistake over and over again if they don't really get to hear the truth about it. You know, I'm not saying that nobody else knows this. It's just I wanna stress these specific points, you know. And usually I don't do this sort of videos, guys. You know me, I'm straight off with guides, gaming. I'm staying away from drama. Even if other creators are trying to drag me into their drama, I'm still staying away from it, you know? So I don't usually do this sort of videos, but if you enjoy them, let me know in the comments down below. But let's crack on it and see what Mac Chan has to say.
I want to talk about why I decided to take a break from the game. I'm just gonna give you my very honest opinion. The biggest reason is I kind of don't want to spend anymore. Just to be honest, right? As you guys probably know, if you watch my old content, I was a huge spender. I was a huge spender, and I think the maximum I have spent in a month was like $2,000. That was crazy. It's not like top.
So you heard him. He was a big spender. The maximum he spent was around $2,000 in a month. Now, yes, he was a big spender. One of the biggest spenders on YouTube that we know anyway. He used to be, at least before. He used to be at the top of Platinum Arena 2-3 years ago. And you know what? 2 years ago, the game was different. 2 years ago, a lot of people were able to challenge the whales and krakens and beat them without a problem and feel like it's not a big disadvantage. You know why? Because we didn't have so many power creep mechanics. Right now we have awakening, empowering, ascending. I can't even remember. I can't remember them all because there's so many, okay? Like there are 1,000 of them now. 2 years ago, we had champions gear. Yes, you still needed to have the meta champions. You still needed to have some decent gear in order to challenge most of the players. But you know what? I used to get screenshots from a lot of people. Skratch, I just beat your defense. Haha, I'm a free-to-play player. Or Skratch, I beat this guy's defense. Or me, I beat this guy who spent 10 times more than I did, you know? And it was a nice feeling. to know that you were able to play the game at that level. Well, that's not the case anymore, of course. And right now, if you want to be the top dog in Raid Shadow Legends, and let me just make a different point before I'm gonna give you a couple of other ideas in here. Nobody gives a damn if you are the top dog in Raid Shadow Legends. Not even Platinum do. They're not even capable to make a leaderboard for Platinum Arena Reset. Takes them 5 freaking minutes to create a leaderboard for Platinum Arena Reset to be added to the game every Monday morning. But you know what? Nobody gives a damn, and if Platinum doesn't give a damn, why should somebody else give a damn? And you know what? There's always going to be a bigger dog than you. No matter what you're doing, there's always a bigger dog. And it's not necessarily that this is the law of life. There's always the next predator, the apex predator. It's just that even if you spend more money than somebody in the game, that person might have much better RNG than you. And you know what? He's the top dog now. He has something that you don't have, and he's better than what you have. So he's the top dog. And then the next top dog comes in, and it goes on like this to the infinite. It's a rat race that will never end. And I gotta say it, I've been caught in this rat race as well, you know, and the sooner you understand this, the better for your own well-being, the better for your wallet as well, you know. And I do want to point out a couple of things which we're going to discuss down in the video, but this is one of the main things that I want to point out, you know. You don't need to be the top dog. You need to kind of like accept the level where you're playing and accept that this mobile gaming industry is pay to win. You're never going to be number one if you're not spending money. Hell, if you're playing games that they don't require you to spend money in order to be number one, they require time, okay? And you're never going to be number one if you're not investing the time. It's as simple as that. It's just a different law, a different currency. Time versus money, okay? So if you're playing PUBG Mobile, I've heard people saying, Skratch, you don't need to spend money to be number one. Hell no, but you need to spend time. So if you don't have time, you're not going to be number one. So just accept that you're going to be a casual player. I accepted that I'm not going to be the top dog in the game. And hell, I don't want to be the top dog. I don't even want to get close to the top dog. You know why? Because a top dog in Raid Shadow Legends needs to spend 10, 20, 30, 40, 50k dollars a month to maintain the title of one of the top dogs. We have so many Krakens in this game that our minds cannot comprehend the level of what sort of amounts they're spending, guys. Okay, let me just be honest.
Start from earlier this year, I just feel like I have to spend, not to progress, but I have to spend just to keep up.
So I did wanted to point this out. This is the game now. This is the game right now. You do not spend to progress. You spend to keep up. Is it worth for us to spend and keep up? No, because this race is never going to end, guys, okay? This is a rat race that will never end. You might think, okay, I'm gonna get Marichka and Taras, that's it, I'm sorted, I don't need nothing else. After they're gonna bring a new champion that will counter Marichka and Taras, and guess what? You're gonna wanna get that champion. After they're gonna bring a new gear set with the Forge Pass, you're gonna wanna get that new set. Then they're gonna introduce a new dungeon that drops new gear sets. You're gonna get that too because that's meta. You're gonna wanna get the Awakening, you're gonna want to get the Soul, you're gonna want to get 4 more copies of that champion to empower him to +4. And this will never end, okay? Whenever you think that you're done, you're not. You're just starting again. That's how these gacha games work. That's how the gaming industry is in 2023. So that's the reality, okay? And I feel like a lot of people are always in the position where I'm gonna quit. That's it. I'm gonna quit because that's gonna stop me from spending money. And no, you're actually a fool if you think that this will save you money. Because you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna stop playing this game and you're gonna move over to the next one. Now in this game, at least you were somewhere in the middle or end game. You're gonna go and start a new game that will get you into it the exact same way Raid Shadow Legends did. And this is the biggest lesson I wanna point out right here. Now, I've seen so many big whales Krakens quitting the game, and guess what? Either 2-3 weeks later they say, oh, I want to come back to the game, I don't know what to do, or I started playing this game, Skratch, you wanna cover it? It's an awesome game. It's very similar with Raid. I just dropped 20k in this game already. So this will never make you save money. What you need to understand is that people are playing at different levels. You need to understand your place on the ladder, okay? I know I cannot afford to spend 10k, and my god, even if I would afford to spend 10k, I could do a million things better than spend 10k in a weekend on Raid Shadow Legends. So the sooner you understand that quitting the game is not what makes you save money. What makes you save money is understanding that you do not need to constantly spend in these genres of games, because it's a rat race that will never end, regardless if the title is Raid Shadow Legends, Infinite Magic Raid, or Magic Dragons, or Awakened Chaos Era. They're all the same cup of tea.
So when the biggest kraken on YouTube out of Raid, right? Like he mentions, there's bigger spenders, of course, out there in the game. But when someone who's dropping that much money on a long-term basis over the course of years, when they say, listen to what he said here, right? He said, I don't spend money anymore to progress. I spend money to keep up. I want to make a larger point on this, but I don't want to hijack the entire reaction here. So let's keep going.
Because I want to compete in arena, I'm not even like looking for finish in number 1, because it's not gonna happen.
Like, look at number 1, +4, +4, +4, +3, 6-star on everything. Do you want to know how much it costs you to get something like that? You think $100k will get you that? You gotta be extremely lucky to get that with $100k. Okay, let me just be straight to the point.
It's just not gonna happen. I don't have these champions.
And you see, that's what you get hooked on. I don't have these champions. I need these champions. I was the fool who was like, I want Hegemon. I need Hegemon. I need Hegemon. Hell, I don't need Hegemon. Right now, I need Yumeko. Do I really need her? I don't. You know what? Am I gonna get number 1 if I get the Yumeko? No. Next to that Yumeko, I need 4 more Yumekos. Then I need to purchase all the speed gear and everything else to make sure she's 560 speed. She's 6-star awakened, so purchase all the souls. And is just Yumeko enough? Nah. And I accepted this long time ago. I don't need her. I would love to get her. But she's not gonna do anything for me. He thinks that if he gets Marichka and Taras, it's gonna change something for him. He thinks he's gonna do top 20 again of Arena. No. He needs awakening for them. Then he needs empowerment for them, etc, etc, etc.
A really sad part. I have to spend close to $1,000 a month just to stay in top 20. And I just don't want to do that anymore. And if you guys watch my old Sharpo videos, I just had insanely bad luck.
So that's I'm not flaming him, by the way, because I just realized it sounded a bit like, oh, he's doing that, he's not doing that. No, the point is that any of us doing that is just pointless, okay? And how he mentioned, he spent thousands of dollars on shards recently and he got nothing. So that's to bringing me back to my point, but yes, if you are spending, you can pretty much get out of it with a fat leap, nothing else, you know?
Like, ever since these two were released, I spent a lot of money. And, well, not that much compared to back in, let's say, 2020 or 2021, but I still spent a lot. I probably pulled roughly 700 to 800 void shards after these two were released, and mostly during their 10x.
So let me just 800 void shards, around $3 per regular price for void shard, $2.50 on very good deals, right? So that's a lot of money. And you know what? If you're going in the game, the first thing that you're gonna understand is that when you have a 10x, your chances to summon champions are rubbish. 0.5% chance to get a legendary. Then the mercy system kicks in at 200 plus shards. Do you know how many times I opened void shards in this game and I went over 200 with no legendary? It's just crazy. So 800 void shards are nothing. Okay, let me just point that out.
Also spent $2,000 a month. Now the big difference is, and I've said this so many times here on the channel, and I feel like it's important to always say this, and I don't mean to I don't mean this to be taken the wrong way, but I need to be clear here with you guys. I would not spend, well, I probably would spend around 1/10 or so, 10% of what I spend on this game if I wasn't making content and I wasn't getting sponsorships and all of that stuff, you know, not by player. I'm not sponsored by player or anything like that. I'm talking about, like, you know, my last shard opening video, I had a sponsorship in there, right? That pays for all those shards and more. I wouldn't be making that content unless it was part of my business strategy. You know what I'm saying?
And I wanted to point this out as well, because Ash is making a very good point here. If I wouldn't make content on this game, I wouldn't spend much money at all, actually. Like, I started playing this game free to play for the very first 3 months. And I actually started spending because I got into making content on it. that's what kind of like hooked me on spending more than I was usually doing. I started streaming and they started getting me with the $5 packs for 5 ancients 3-4 years ago. And small prices like this, and $5, $10, 15, 20, they add up to 2K. And you're gonna be like, my god, I actually spend that much money. I'm an idiot. You can't believe it, you know? But if I wouldn't do content, I would definitely not spend almost nothing on this game, you know? Yes, I would play it. I would enjoy it as free to play, low spender or whatever. And that's it. I don't want to compete to be number one because I accept that my wallet and my mentality will just not allow me to be number one for this, because my mentality will stop me to spend tens of thousands of dollars every month on the game, you know?
I don't think it's, I mean, you could pay thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in this game and still feel like it's rigged against you, kind of like Mac Chan does. And I'm not saying he's saying that. I'm just saying that like still feel like you're having bad luck and you're a have-not. If you're spending, you know, over the course of the years, $100,000 on Raid Shadow Legends, right? If you're spending $100,000 on Raid Shadow Legends and you still don't have a bunch of the key meta champions because of RNG, it should show everybody out there that spending money on this game, sure, you can, you know, you can progress a little bit more, right? You can, right? And I'm not going to tell anybody not to spend a few dollars here or there or whatever on this game, right? It's your money. Do what you want with it, right? I'm not here to have some big boycott or anything like that. But I've said it so many times, and I feel like I need to make videos like this, and this is a perfect video to react to, is it doesn't matter. There is no end of the tunnel. There's nothing that we're aiming for. What's going to happen is you're going to get comfortable spending $10, $20, $100, $1,000 a month. And then it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get more expensive. This dude spent $100,000 on Raid Shadow Legends, give or take. And he still feels like he's a have-not and that he's nowhere near where he needs to be.
So it's true. The number one lesson in life is like, the more you have, the more you want, right? Like, look at billionaires. They never have enough, right? And it's the same in the game, but the only difference here in the game is that they're constantly adding you new carrots to follow, you know? Another new carrot, another new carrot. So yes, you're gonna end up feeling like you're a no-have after you spent all that money, which is just crazy, right? Like, think about it. It's the perfect strategy, the perfect business model for a company like this to get money, to get people hooked on it, you know? And a lot of people will never realize that they're hooked on it and is no ending to it, you know? They'll think this is the one. I'm gonna purchase now this shard, I'm gonna get that champion. I was actually talking with a friend the other day. I had no shards for the 1+1 ancients. He had none, and he was like, Skratch, I want to buy shards. I was like, don't do it, bro. Don't do it, because you know you're always getting trash, you know? But for some reason, I see that it's Duchess and Rotos. No, bro, don't do it, you know? And I started showing him different screenshots with the bad pools, okay? Because you gotta understand that it's not the way it works, you know? You gotta understand that you're not gonna get Duchess and Rotos from the next pool, because it's not the way. But they get you hooked on it in such a way that you really need to have a very good self-control in order to understand everything that's happening.
That should tell everybody something very important.
To be honest, and like starting this year, I just feel like keep spending and always get nothing good is kind of a waste of money. Right?
So that's the number one lesson, guys. Make sure you're putting that thing on repeat. If for whatever reason it goes in through a year and goes out through the other, put that thing on repeat, even at night when you're sleeping, you know, like a hypnotized sort of a thingy, where you're constantly gonna remind yourself that spending money is not really gonna get you nothing in here, you know? And this is mainly for people that really love to gamble a lot. Now, I know people, how I mentioned IRL, that they went busted because of it, but I know people in-game that spend money, they have credit cards, and they're basically making loans to purchase all sorts of things in the game. And I'm always like, guys, don't do that, man. It's stupid, you know? Like, just don't do it. Just stop from it. And honestly, if you are finding yourself in a situation where you cannot control yourself anymore, not being sarcastic or anything like that, get some help, because you have a gambling addiction that you cannot control, and things like this can actually ruin your life. If you have a family to take care of, etc., spending all your income on things like this is bad, regardless if it's a Raid Shadow Legends or if it's poker.com or whatever other things you are spending money on, you know. Definitely get a bit of help if you are in that situation.
Maybe it's the same
Even if he got something good, it would probably still be a waste of money.
for all gacha game. To be honest, I don't play that much gacha game. Mostly, I am a PC gamer.
Hands up, Mac-chan, I'm the same, bro. I never played another gacha game before Raid Shadow Legends. I was actually at work, bored, and I clicked on Raid Shadow Legends and it got me hooked. How I mentioned, the first 3 months I was free to play, and then I just started spending $5 here and there, then I started doing content, and guess what? There were a few hundreds every month here and there, so they just add up, you get comfortable, how Ash said as well, and you're gonna end up in being in a spot where you're spending too much, and you're, oh my god, what am I doing? You know, like, I'm stupid, why am I doing this?
But back in the days, I was really into this game because of the graphic and the gacha mechanic. To be honest, hey, it's a game, alright? You're still gonna focus on real life. That's how I feel. Yeah, that's just the biggest reason why I kind of don't want to play this game for now. Like, if I don't spend money into it, I fall behind, alright? Let's say if I go completely free to play for 2 to 3 months, I can probably go to arena and finish at like top 50. And if I don't spend for another 3 months, I can probably be top 100. I just keep falling behind.
It's not like that either, though. You are falling behind. And you can play free to play, especially if somebody like us, me, him, Ash, stop spending now. I'm not saying we're not left behind. We are left behind a lot. I'm left behind a lot for the last 6-7 months since I literally cut down on spending a lot, you know. And you know what? I still enjoy the game. I still play it, but I play it at my own pace, my own level. And I mentioned, I accept that I'm not going to be number one. And I don't want to be number one. I just want to have fun, play the game, and just relax after work or do whatever if I would be the casual gamer, you know. And how I mentioned, quitting the game, it won't solve your problem. Because your problem is not actually playing the game. Your problem is having self-control and understanding the actual reality, okay? As harsh as this may sound.
So that's something I just don't want to do.
See, the thing is again, my take on this, guys, is that he is still in it psychologically. He's still in the rabbit hole that Plarium wants him to be in, right? Because even his terminology, falling behind what, man? I get what he's saying. Like, practically, he's falling behind the people that are finishing above him in arena, right? But what are we getting for finishing high in arena?
Nothing, Ash. You're getting nothing. You're not even getting a crappy leaderboard that takes 5 minutes for the coder to implement in the game. That's why you're getting for finishing first in Platinum Arena, or second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever. I wake up every Monday, I do Platinum Arena. Today I place 20, tomorrow I place 17, then 30, 40, 50, 100, depending on my mood as well and how much I actually want to get involved into playing the game. Can I win number one? Possibly. I need a lot of luck to win number one without competing in spending with the Krakens. Don't get me wrong, it's not impossible, it is doable. But it's not very likely to happen very often anyway, you know. The Krakens will still win it and you are getting nothing.
It's like the casino without the payoff. You don't get any money back. There's no falling behind.
No money back, you don't get to see any nice ladies around bringing you drinks, and yeah, that's about it. That's Raid Shadow Legends in a few words.
We're all falling behind. You could argue that the people who are spending more to get ahead of him in the arena are falling behind more because it's costing them more money and they're falling behind in the game of life. You know,
Yep.
You could argue that point of view probably even better than the other one, right? So, you know, well, let's just listen on.
I don't want my money to be spent in somewhere that doesn't give me a guaranteed return. Like, if they just put a price tag on these two champions, let's say $100, sorry, let's say $1,000 for one champion, I would do it. All right, I would.
So that's something that will never happen because he spends 20, 30, 40,000 trying to get those champions, or not him necessarily, but other person. And Radiant knows that. They're not stupid. They're not gonna do it.
But I just don't want to spend my money gambling anymore.
I wonder if Plarium's listening to this right now, which they are. I wonder how they feel about that sentence. If you charge me $1,000 for this champion, I would do it. Of course, they would never do that because the headlines would be charging $1,000 for a champion. How ridiculous is that? But you heard.
It's not even about the headlines, Ash. It's about how much money they're making out of feeding from from the addictions, basically, you know, and knowing that the meta champion, I want her, I need her. No, you don't.
Heard the man. He spent thousands trying to get one champion. He walked away with nothing.
Anymore. I'm kind of tired of it, and I don't plan on playing any other gacha game for now. I'm open to it, to be honest, but probably taking a break from gacha game for now. And the second reason is there's just not much new content, and all the content being released, I just don't feel like I enjoy it that much.
Mac-chan, you're not enjoying it that much, my brother, because there is no content. There's just power creep. Awakening, ascending, empowerment. What is the content? What content we got recently that's actual content? You got a new Doom Tower rotation? No. You got a new hard mode faction wars? No. You got new campaign? No. You got new clan boss? Not really. You got Hydra ages ago, which, again, that was another sort of mechanic of making people to spend money. Six champions in a team. You cannot use them in the second team. In the third team, 18 champions. So that, again, was a way of making money by making people to build multiple teams, basically, you know. So there is no actual content added to the game in quite a while, unfortunately, you know, and that's the sad truth. And now with the addition of the new primal shards, you know, is I set my expectations so low, guys, with the primal quartz, or whatever the heck they're called, primal quartz in the Hydra Clash, like extremely low expectations, okay? I said, okay, maybe at minimum, at maximum, they're gonna give us one summon a week. Then I go into the Hydra Clash, I go and click on the chest, and you're not even getting one every 2 weeks. If you're unlucky, you're getting, you need 4 weeks if you're unlucky, because you're getting 30, 30, 30, and then again, whatever you're getting after. So 1 month for one summon is mind-blowing, you know, like I was not expecting that whatsoever. But the last point, guys, to end it here, because I feel like I've been going on for quite a while, and I know I haven't reacted that much to the content. I don't want to flame Mac-chan, because that was not what I was trying to do. I just kind of like pointed out things, and maybe it's just the way I'm talking usually and the way I'm expressing myself, but the last point that Ash makes here as well, that's the main reason why I wanted to watch this video directly, but I'm going to link both of the videos in the comments, Ash's video and Mac-chan's, if you want to watch them in full. You don't need to spend to enjoy the game. You need to accept it and play it at your own level, and even as free to play, you're going to have fun playing, but you just need to be aware that spending is not the solution of having fun in a game, okay? So we're gonna end it on this. If you wanna add anything else, let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if I sounded too harsh to some of you guys that might be in this situation, know one thing. I was in the exact same situation 1 year ago, and I actually realized that what I was doing was pointless and was wrong, okay? And I'm gonna end it here. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.